Now, I know I've mentioned this a few times already, but a lot of bands really get hung up on what all this promotion and marketing stuff is going to cost them. So I thought I'd break it down and lay out the numbers so you can actually see how little it'll cost you to be a quality band as opposed to the garage band that's never going to see the light of day. So what does quality really cost? Well, let's start with the cost of hiring a great photographer. We're looking at about $300 for great shots of your band that you can use for the next 2 years. Then there's the prints you're going to need to use in your packages. You're going to be sending out a lot of these, so I'd go with 1,000 8x10s to start, and these will run you about $140. You can't possibly think of being in the music business without some kind of product to sell, and as a band, this is going to be your CD. So there are a couple schools of thoughts and directions that you can go into with this one. You can go with the home studio. So if you don't already have the necessary equipment, you're going to need a computer, and that's about, let's say nowadays, maybe anywhere from $600 to $800 to get a decent one. Plus, you'll need the necessary software, which is going to run you another $1,000, and then you're going to need a mixer so you can get it all into your computer. So you're looking at another $400 to $500. Let's say $450. Altogether, you're looking at about anywhere from $2,500, let's say, to $3,000. Of course, these are just guesstimates, and depending on how high or how low end you want to go, the numbers can vary in some big ways. But the beauty of the home studio is, one, you may already have most of the equipment you need, like the mixer and the computer. And if you've already got these items, then you can save yourself a big chunk of money. And secondly, having your own home studio allows you to record your songs whenever you want to, at any time you want to. And your only investment is your equipment, for which you pay one time, which is not a bad deal, right? Then there's, of course, the professional studio that you and your band can go to and have access to an engineer and high-end recording equipment. But of course, this luxury will come at a price. Now, because home studios have become so easily accessible for bands, and because the recordings you get out of them are really quite good, the studios have been forced to lower their pricing in order to bring in more clients. And this works out pretty well for you, because if you're any good at negotiating, then you can work out a fairly decent package deal for yourself and maybe walk away with a professionally engineered recording that's ready for sale once you've had it mastered. Depending on what you've agreed on, you should be able to get yourself a 5-song package deal for about $1,000 or so. Or you can go the hourly rate, which ranges from $50 to about $100 an hour for a decent studio. And remember, it sometimes can take a lot of takes to get that guitar sounding just right. Be prepared for this, and you have to budget effectively if this is the direction that you're going to go in. And the benefit of going this route is that you'll have access to an engineer who can help you work out sounds, and he already knows his way around the equipment and mics you'll need to set up to get your recordings done professionally. The drawback is that you'll have to pay each and every time you want to get your recordings done. In general, this is probably the most expensive piece of your promotions package, but remember that whatever you spend here should bring you a return throughout the next year, maybe 3 years, in sales of your finished product. And of course, once you got your finished product, it's time to press your CDs, and this can run you anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 for 1,000 CDs. If this is too much for your budget at this time, then start a little smaller and go for the 500 run variety. And this will probably start out anywhere from $800 to $1,000. And of course, there are variations depending on the number of colors you choose on your jewel case, or whether you have jewel cases or the digipacks. Now, if you don't have any press releases at this time that you can include in your package, you're going to probably want to go for the pay for review route, and I suggest you get at least 3 different outlets to give you some feedback, so you can tack on another $75 for this. And finally, you need a professional bio written up for your band. Again, if you can write this yourself, you can save yourself a little bit of cash, or you can pay to get a pro to put this together for you. And if you decide to pay for someone to do this, then it probably shouldn't run you any more than $100. So average total cost to get your professional promotions package up to spec can be anywhere from, say, $5,000 to $7,500. Now, if this is ringing bells in your head or making you wonder how you're going to get this kind of money, remember, you probably got more than one of you in your band, so you can all chip in to make this happen. And you may also be ahead of the game and have a CD you can start off with, so there's a big chunk taken care of already. Either way, it is what it is, and if you really want to get anywhere in this business, this, you're going to have to invest in yourself, and realistically, $5,000 to $7,500 is pretty cheap to get yourself off the ground. Some bands have spent over $25,000 on their CD recordings alone, so this is a fairly reasonable investment. And remember, this is an investment, and when you follow through on all the techniques that you're learning in this course, you're going to end up making this money back 10 times over. Heck, just by applying the first module list building techniques, you should be able to put this money together in the next few months or so. So don't fret, it is achievable, and this course is going to help you get there. Just be aware that at a minimum, if you're starting from scratch, this is what it's going to take to move you to that next level, to the big time, so to speak, and get you making that big time money. I'm also going to go into some other expenses that you'll have to incur in a little bit as well, things like business cards and the sending out of your packages, but I'll also break down what your costs versus returns will be when you use these tools, and I'm certain that you'll be pleasantly surprised to find out that your expenses will be more than worth it in the long run.